Howdy everyone, welcome back. I've got a weird voice. I literally just got back from NAMM a few hours ago, and I was like, you know what? No time to rest, we gotta get back to work, and I want to shoot a video with this NAMM beard. So we're talking about, today, theory that beginners should avoid. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably seen my, gear beginners should avoid, and I thought, let's do one about theory. There isn't really so much tabs for this. If you want to check out my free guitar course, you totally can. It is linked down below. It's called the Fretboard Decoder if you do want some theory stuff. So let's jump into this, and I want to kind of like break it down a little bit. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is, at the end of the day, learn whatever you want, do whatever you want, and if you disagree with me, by all means, leave it down in the comments. There's no reason why you have to just be okay with what I'm saying. I'm just going to simply give my opinion, and this is coming from a rock guitarist perspective, so I'm viewing this as a beginner rock guitarist, essentially. Because I feel like when we're, starting on a guitar, it's really confusing. I remember I was extremely confused. I'm like, I don't understand. What have I learned? There's all these chords. There's all these, inversions, triads, arpeggios, harmonic minor scale, melodic minor scale. Like, there's all these things. And I'm just like, I was so lost. I'm like, I don't understand. What do you start with? So let's start with the first thing to avoid. Is if you are a beginner, there's really no reason for you to, spend a lot of time learning how to play your minor 7, flat 5, dominant 13, 11 chords. I wonder what that chord would be. Nope, for now I would actually just focus on playing your good old major chords, play a G chord, but learn how to play it not only like this, but like this. That's right, it's the cowboy rock and roll way to play a G chord right there. That way you can go to C, maybe F, maybe A, maybe E. But learn your basic open position cowboy chords. That's what you want. Don't worry about bar chords. I would not learn bar chords yet. Don't worry about any of these other crazy, funky looking Eric Johnson chords. None of that stuff. You just don't need that stuff at the very beginning. And those are very difficult things to play. So I would just focus on your good old cowboy chords. Not worry about them on them crazy, highfalutin, fancy chords. Next, scales. What in the world? Well, if you are starting out, and this one might, I have some other opinions on it. I think that you should avoid modes, harmonic minor. Don't start with that kind of stuff. I actually think starting with your pentatonic scale is the best one to start with. It has the lowest number of notes. It's a 5-note scale versus, say, like G major, which is a 7-note scale. And you can always go back and learn G major a little bit later, but just to get something underneath your fingers, learn, like if you're playing, say you only know a G, C, and D chord. If I know that, my G major pentatonic scale, it's also the same as E minor. There's a lot I can do with that, with knowing a little. And like I said, it's just 2 notes per string. And to me, that was always really motivating as a guitar player. I was like, oh, I learned part of the scale. You can pick it up very quickly. And I think it helps kind of keep us motivated to want to maybe dive into, maybe learn your full G major scale. Maybe you, like later on down the road, you want to learn your G Lydian scale. As I mess it up. But, so that's another one, don't worry about all them crazy names that you hear on scales and stuff like that. Just sit there. I think learning your pentatonic scale is the best one to start off with. And it'll go really, really well with those, kind of cowboy chords that you were just learning. Alright, so this next one is probably going to be a little bit more sensitive. Going to trigger some people. And it is sheet music. I've done another video where I talked about sheet music, and some guys thought it was very crucial that you learn sheet music, and some people think it was not as crucial. So I'm just going to be totally honest here. I learned how to read sheet music a long time ago, and I personally never ran into a situation where I used it, other than that initial learning, experience. So right now, I couldn't sight read if I had to, because I haven't used it in so many years. It's been, I don't know, 10 years, maybe 12, since I had to do any of that kind of stuff. And maybe that's just because I'm more of a rock guy that I haven't, you know, really incorporated it much. But I feel like if you are that kind of rock guitar player, I don't know about learning sheet music unless it's something that interests you. To be totally fair and honest, you know, I kind of feel like I spend a lot of time on it and I don't use it. So I would personally maybe avoid that. But you know what? Like I said, learn what you want to at the end of the day. And the final thing I'm going to leave you guys off with here is just some kind of food for thought. And what you should do when you're around other guitar players. Some guitar players like to throw out all these, you know, crazy terminologies and stuff like that. Some of them are just, you know, it's a language. You know, learning to understand it is good when you're trying to talk to a fellow musician. Some musicians like to use it as a tool to try to, you know, show that they're superior. They know more about this stuff than you. Other guys are just talking, you know, just talking about music. So my whole point of all this, right now I'm just blabbing, is don't get intimidated. Avoid that. I know it can seem very intimidating when someone's like, oh, you're playing that sharp 4 there. Yeah, so you're using Lydian? You know, stuff like that. But, you know, I haven't ran into a whole lot of those guys. There's been a few, and you just kind of roll your eyes. But there's also a lot of them where you're just like, you know, you're excited. You're talking to someone, oh, man, oh, you're having the major 3rd there. You know, stuff like that. So, you know, avoid getting intimidated by that stuff. You will be there 100%. You just got to keep working on it. So don't let that intimidate you. Don't feel inferior. We're all just learning at the end of the day. So don't let that get you down. And that's going to be it, guys. Me and my weirdo Nam voice are going to bounce on out of here. Hope you enjoyed this first video back. I know it took a little bit of a break. I needed to kind of recharge my batteries there for a minute. I was putting out a lot of content. But other than that, guys, I will be seeing you all later. Probably Wednesday or Tuesday with another video, and hopefully my voice is a little bit better there, and my Nam beard is a little bit more cleaned up. So I'll see you guys later. You know what? Let's do a high five on this one because it's been a little bit. Bye, guys.